Every team builds their own AI solutions, creating a sprawling mess of custom integrations and security vulnerabilities. This solution framework eliminates this through three key core innovations. First, we standardize our agent factory, wherein AI agents could be created using Azure AI Foundry and our Copilot Studio. No more custom builds. Everything is standardized at the enterprise level. Second, the semantic kernel wrapper ensures every agent speaks the same language. Third, the API management gateway becomes the single secure entry point for all AI interactions. When any interface calls our wrapper, we automatically enrich the request with relevant context from our PostgreSQL enterprise data. One gateway, one security model, one way to access enterprise intelligence, where access to your agents is made possible. No more point to point integrations, no more data silos. We are not just building AI agents, you are building the enterprise AI nervous system, standardized, secure, context aware. This is how enterprises scale AI from proof of concept to production reality. Let's say your IT department gave you the access to an MCP server. I simulated just MCP server on a local machine here, wherein I asked it a question. And as any other MCP server, this is your data set sitting on a PostgreSQL server. So it reaches out to the Postgres and it returns the response. So after the fact, I got the access to the Postgres server. Let's say I want to create an agent. I want to create an agent in Copilot Studio wherein the Copilot Studio connects to this MCP server, and it just not connects to the MCP server, but let's say I will make it draw nice visuals. How do we do that? So the data set itself is taken from this publicly available data set. Nothing is confidential here. It's just I downloaded this data set, and I loaded it into a PostgreSQL server. Guess this is the 10% of the overall data in perspective with market analysis of number of passengers flown by by airline, and the number of flights originating from a hub such as Dallas Fort Worth, LaGuardia, Chicago, etc. Right? So once I loaded that data and I got access to the MCP server, the next step really for me is to go to my Copilot Studio. So once I am in the Copilot Studio, then I am going to configure my agent. So let me show you how I did that. So every agent actually, have system prompt in the form of instructions. So these are the basic ones where I said when you are reaching out to the PostgreSQL, just don't hit the base tables, use the materialized tables that I have used so that the performance of the materialized tables would be much more superior. Like just structured my data set in such a way that when I make a call to that tool, it draws charts and graphs. The tool to draw charts and graphs is in the agent flows. It is present in create chart v1, which I'll review in a bit. But the important thing is the database MCP server. So um, I actually utilized a custom connector as my MCP server. So that MCP server has been given access to a bunch of tools. You don't need to do all of that. You can just give basic tools to your users, such as get databases, execute SQL query, and other things, right? Tools such as this. So in our case, that is the tool I used. So we go to Power Automate. So in the Power Automate, we go to custom connector. And in the custom connector, this is our custom connector. And as you can see in the custom connector, the moment I go to edit, I actually, imported a Swagger file, and the Swagger file itself went to the database, and it fetched the URL of the database. And, it is making um, a call to the MCP server that is backed by API management gateway. So after I configured that one, then I also created a quick and dirty flow, not too fancy, but a basic flow wherein the agent could call this flow, send me a compatible payload in order to draw a chart or graph. Then I massage and set some variables. This is the actual HTTP call. I use this thing called quickchart.io. So the payload from quickchart.io itself would be stored in a storage blob, and I will pass the um, SAS URI for the storage block back to the, see, I am providing the URL path, and I will provide that back to my agent. So once I configure the agent with those two, and that's all I need, really. Then Copilot Studio is very intelligent to just process the data that I ask for. So let's ask the exact same question here, wherein what is the sum of the revenue, copy, and instead of asking that, let me ask it in a little intelligent way here because we enhanced it. What is the sum of the revenue? Also display a chart that shows the revenue and passengers flown as a bar chart by carrier. By, let's say, I would say top 10 carriers just to make the visual proper. So hopefully it runs and fetches the data. As you can see in the activity map, I do want to show you the activity map. You make a call to the database MCP server. The database MCP server wrote the SQL, and it fetched actually the data back. And then it actually called the chart, create chart, and the create chart drew the chart, right? So that's what it does. See, I want to demonstrate the power of utilization of MCP servers in this context. So if you actually then what happens is you go to your settings. Once when you go to your channels, look at that. So Teams and M365 Copilot. So I expose this one in my Microsoft 365 Copilot chat and the agent Teams. So when I go to my Copilot chat and ask some of the similar questions, it says here is a chart showing. So I want to show you actually um, the power of this. So let me open the image into the new one, and it is extremely nice, is it not? So the revenue, the passengers flow, and um, all of that stuff. Microsoft technology advanced so much now to a point where you can use a large language model um, as part of the Copilot Studio orchestrator that orchestrates calls to the MCP server, as well as other tools at your disposal such as draw charts, and with few click of buttons you can configure that to go into the Copilot chat, and chat with this, and you can see how intelligent the chat is. You don't need to maintain, manage, in a sense. You can draw the charts in whichever way you want. You can ask insights, it will remember all the context for you. And you can just keep chatting with it, that like you would be asking your assistant. So this is so powerful, and I hope you all try this demo. I included actually the GitHub link, which I have shown in my slide out of that. Um, and with that, thank you for joining this. I really look forward to talk with you soon